Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Oh Brother Comics. Today is Wednesday, New Comic Book Day, September 8th, if I remember correctly, of 2021. Guys, this was actually a big week of books that we picked up, or at least I picked up. How about you guys? How was your guys' stacks today?
Yeah, man, I got a pretty good stack. Definitely looking forward to reading all of these.
Heck yeah, Matt. And actually, I'm sorry, I need to pause a little bit. We actually have Matt here today on this New Comic Book Day. Usually he's working, but he was able to have the day off today and he can come join us. So Matt, welcome.
Dude, it's good to be here. Thank you for COVID. Pretty awesome stuff. Good chance to be here now. So yeah,
well,
good work protocols, so here I am.
Right. You know, it's always good to be safe, but we're glad to have you here, man, because we always miss you on Wednesdays. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's just continue on this and dive right into the comics that we picked up. Nick, I started last week. Why don't you go ahead and show the community what you picked up today?
Sounds good. All right, first up for me, I picked up Black Cotton #5.
It's a dope book.
Change my background that way it doesn't glare so much. Then Black Manta #1. Definitely looking forward to reading this one.
Is that the
This is
cover?
one of the ones that I'll be yeah, it is. It's like cardstock variant.
Heck yeah, that's cool.
And this is one of the ones I'll be reviewing this week.
Okay. Heck yeah.
And then I've got Last Flight Out #1 by Dark Horse. Really looking forward to that one.
Oh, it did look interesting.
Yeah. Then I picked up #3 of Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Hell yeah.
I loved the cartoon. So definitely loving the comic. And then I had to pick up Jeff Lemire's Maze book.
Heck yes. I'm actually really excited to read that one.
Yeah, totally. I always have Mighty Morphin being pulled for me, so picked up #11.
That's right, you should.
Then I got Nine Stones #1.
Yeah.
From Behemoth. Then I have everything Star Trek being pulled too. So this is Star Trek Zero, The Mirror War. And in this one, you guys were talking about Riker's beard if he was clean shaven, but no, he's got a double braided beard with his little beads or something on the end there.
The goatee.
I mean, I don't know what I was going to expect, but hey, I mean, that's pretty
good. Never trust a goatee.
Yeah. Then we've got Star Wars Adventures #9, and this is the first appearance of Boba Fett in the Star Wars Adventures line. Then I got second printing of Star Wars The High Republic. I just thought that this one was a really cool cover. So
that is a cool cover.
Yeah,
They
definitely
didn't
had to
have
pick that one up when I saw it.
Oh, heck yeah.
Then I got Dr. Aphra. I really enjoy the Dr. Aphra. It's been a little slow lately, but I'm hoping it picks back up now that it's nearing the culmination of the War of the Bounty Hunters tie-ins. And then I got this one too. This is another second printing. This is the Jabba the Hutt one, and I got this one just because I really like the design covers.
They are pretty sweet, and that was a pretty cool character they introduced. Hopefully they really continue her story.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And then of course I had to pick up War of the Bounty Hunters #4. And that's it for me.
Awesome, bro. Those are some good pickups. Well, Matt, let's see what you got today, bro.
All right, man. So mostly I go digital. So you gotta get the Star Wars and the whatnot, things like that. Stuff I'm more excited about. Actually, well, I got one physical copy. I did go to the store looking for some Elric stuff. I wanted to find some older stuff, some keys and whatnot. No luck there, but when I was sifting through, I found this old Marvel's Tales. Marvel Tales. There we go. Just an old book, I think. God, what was it? I texted you. I think it was printed in 1971, I believe is what I texted out. So yeah, it's an old one. It's a little weathered. I couldn't find a value on it, but I know the old Marvel Tales, they hold some value and stuff like that. So for $4, and plus you can't go wrong with Spider-Man and Rhino.
Right.
Yeah, dope cover. I love the old stuff.
Yeah, those Marvel Tales are great, man. I mean, they're reprints of the older books, but like I said, they're old books and
yeah, but yeah, they're old books in themselves. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, I love the old stuff. Digitally, I gotta go, Spider-Man. I gotta get Spider-Man 73. The books that I'm reviewing, Daredevil 34, Maze book #1. I'm not gonna get into it because it's gonna be, I'll talk about it on 10 and 10. Make sure you tune in and check that out. But goddamn, that book is good.
It's true. It really is.
And then, did you read it yet?
I glimpsed through it a little earlier, and it's got my attention.
Bro, yeah. Tune in on the 10 and 10. Do yourself a favor. Elric, The Dreaming #2, and then one that's actually like a series that I'm really, really loving right now. It's super independent, but Hades #3. I always make sure I get that digitally off Comixology. God, I'm like blanking on the guy that does it off the top of my head, but I'm like absolutely loving that story. It's one that I've done before in the 10 and 10. I'll probably jump back to it here in the future. But it's a great book. So it was like, I remember we were looking at the list a little bit. I was like, oh, it's kind of a small week, but man, like the books that I got so far, like they've all blown me away. It's been like really, really strong.
That's good, man. It's always good to have a week where just all the books you're reading are just top notch. That's just a good comic week.
Yeah, dude.
Heck yeah. Well, was that it on everything for your pickups this week?
Yeah, as far as what.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to cut you off ahead of time, bro.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So for my pickups, and just like we've been saying, gosh, I was really surprised at how many books I ended up picking up. I did not think it was going to be that big a week, but I had to pick up The Last Book You'll Ever Read #2. The first one really had me intrigued, so I really got to continue on with the story and see where this takes off. It's definitely a mature reader, so you guys out there definitely, make sure that your kids aren't necessarily picking it up, but all you adults out there, check it out. Had to go with Jeff Lemire's Maze book, like we were saying. It's just really cool, and I can't wait to finish reading this. Then we have Batman. This book I'm really excited for, and they say that this is the cameo appearance of Peacekeeper X, but I was flipping through it, and is this going to be another one of these like Venom discussions or Wolverine discussions? Because he's full on in this full page, and they have his name in it. Like this is a first appearance. Like, come on, guys. Like enough of this cameo stuff.
They get nitpicky with that stuff sometimes, man.
They do, man, and it's so weird. But either way, Nice House on the Lake #4. Been loving this book by Tiny End Guides. You should pick this up if you haven't. And actually, they had a bunch of first prints at my shop today. I thought about picking them up, but they're going for like $25 right now. Then moving along with Mighty Morphin. I love my Power Rangers, so got to keep that going. And like the other two, or you guys, we got Star Wars Dr. Aphra. Had to get all the Star Wars like we do. We got War of the Bounty Hunters. And I had to go with Star Wars Adventures with the Boba Fett cover. This thing is sick. Thank goodness the LCS here, saved that for me. This cover is awesome.
That's a dope cover.
This book, I know on my last review with it, I wasn't too thrilled with it, but I did say that I would continue at least to give the story a shot. So I did pick up Avengers Tech On #2. This is essentially like, all the heroes in here are like mini Iron Man because their powers were taken away by the Red Skull with his infinity dust that he somehow collected after the stones were defeated or destroyed. But we'll see if this episode 2 takes off a little bit more. Well, Last Flight Out, had to pick that up. That book looked really interesting. Excited to read that. Also with this book, I was really intrigued with the first one. This is Scotty Young's The Me You Love in the Dark #2. This is about a writer who is looking to find herself again and relight that fire within her, and she goes and rents out a haunted house. So that's starting. And then like Matt, he got me hooked onto this, but I had to pick up Elric #2. Yep. They didn't have the FOC cover to match the first one I got, but this cover was just as cool. So I'm really excited to pick that up. So that was my picks for this week. There were some good books this week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, you're gonna love that Elric. I've read that one today as well.
Man.
And tune into the Tune in 10 and 10 people. Tune in.
Yes, it'll be out on Friday, so definitely check out the 10 and 10.
Oh man.
But after that little segment where we usually go over our comics, we're gonna roll right into our Let's Chat. And that is where we go over and grab some news that we've heard throughout the week and just chat a little bit about it and kind of get our feelings and our thoughts out about it. So, you guys ready to jump into the news?
Sure,
Absolutely.
man.
Heck yeah. All right, for the first news up, we have, this was a little strange. Nick, you threw it at me because I didn't end up seeing it, but there seems to be a new publishing company that has just kind of sprouted up called NPR Planet Money Publishing Group. And they have joined forces with some former comic book veterans, and they're looking to do something that's kind of interesting. They're looking to revive Golden Age superheroes, and one in particular called Microface. And they're, I know, right? I've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah,
but
I had never heard of him either, and then I had to go through and look him up. And oh man, we'll get into his backstory in a little bit.
Okay, but yeah, okay. So real quick, just to give you an idea of what's happening is these guys have basically realized that there are a huge slew of characters throughout the Golden Age that have fallen into public domain. So their copyrights have fallen off and they are now public domain. And these guys are looking to utilize that and bringing those superheroes back to life through their new publishing company. So guys, what do you think about that?
Dude, I think that could be really cool, man.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I was looking it up. I had never even heard of that, like that there were any public domain superheroes. Apparently there's a whole website dedicated to just listing out all of these superheroes, their first appearances, their origin stories, and all kinds of stuff. And like there's this public domain superheroes, it's pdsh.fandom.com. And there's like 4,562 characters out there right now. And they're always looking for more. Like you can go in and if you know of some that aren't listed, like you can submit them. And yeah, there's a whole community around it.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude.
Interesting. Well, while we're at it, I think you said that you had looked up the origin of this Microface. Let's find out more about this guy. What is this guy about?
Oh yeah, man. So he made his first appearance in Clue Comics #1 in January of 1943, and I guess I'll just read his quick little origin blurb. But it's basically so Tom Wood is his name, and Tom Wood was a factory worker and a failed inventor. When his brother Jim was killed by Big Boston's gangsters, Tom promised to avenge Jim's death, so invented a micro mask, a full face mask that contained a built-in microphone, which allowed him to amplify and throw his voice, a hearing amplifier, and photoelectric lenses that gave him X-ray vision. He could also attach telephone wires to his mask to make phone calls. And Tom offered the invention to the US government only to be turned down. Regardless, he used it to become Microface.
What?
Dude, straight out of 1940s.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I mean, yeah, you think about like the technology they had back then and like, yeah, having a microphone in your mask, like shit, that's like pretty badass. Like X-ray vision eyes, like hey man, like that's pretty big deal.
Right, I could see the X-ray vision eyes, but what is up with this phone line thing? They gotta update that because there's no more phone lines. Good luck finding a payphone.
He probably like traveled through like the 5G, 4G network. I don't know.
There you go, right through the satellites.
Yeah,
He's
so
he'd probably hook up. Yeah.
What year did this guy come out in?
1943.
1943. So Superman. So just so we had Superman, and I looked it up. 1938. So like we have like Superman that was strong as hell, jumping over buildings fast as like a bullet and all that. And then this guy's like, I got about my idea. This dude's got a microphone in his mask,
and X-ray goggles.
He can go toe to toe with this guy. And then that's just pretty awesome. That's funny though.
Hey, sound is powerful, dude. Maybe his amplification is so loud and powerful that he can just stop Superman dead in his tracks.
Hey, maybe. Yeah, like we know kryptonite gets them, but who knows? Maybe there's a frequency out there that
exactly
can do the trick. I'm sure
Yeah,
the
I mean,
kryptonite
this
radiates
NPR
some kind of frequency.
Right.
this NPR publishing company, I mean, we're gonna find out, right? I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Going through all of these superheroes, and I guess these are like established comic book writers and creators. So I can't wait to see what they pull out and what new story, like what kind of. I know that there's already a cover out there that's been tagged like with all of these news articles and everything. So I think it's being done by Jerry Ordway. So I think that's the cover artist, and I guess Microface is getting a whole new design and everything. So I'm sure they're going to update his powers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he looks like a foot soldier from like Ninja Turtles.
And it's weird because, like, I mean, like you said, it is an interesting and kind of a cool idea. I could see this if it ends up like really taking off, that all of a sudden this is going to be like the new thing. Like companies are going to start trying to snag these up and come up with new, updated versions of them and start publishing.
Like, even if it doesn't really take off, now that these news stories are out there, like all of these public domain superheroes, like I went to Google and the first thing I typed in was superheroes public domain, and like it came up with a whole bunch of Google suggested searches and everything already. So it's definitely being searched pretty often right now.
I mean, yeah, and this news just recently hit, so it's going to be, talked about, for a little while, and especially when it comes out. I'm curious how they're going to get this distributed. Like, is this going to be something that comic shops have to now sign up with another publisher to try and get? Or is they going to go? Are they going to go through like Diamond? Or I mean, coming from working in a shop before, these are like some of the questions I wonder about with the shops. Like, how are we going to get these books to the consumers, kind of thing. But
I think this one you can order.
Oh, is they going to have their own website?
I thought they had like a way to order it, but I'd have to look again.
I know it's still early. I mean, we'll probably find out more as we go. I'm just throwing questions out there, but I was curious about it. But I don't know. It sounds very interesting, guys. But let's go ahead and we'll move on to our next.
I definitely do like that idea for sure.
Yeah, it's really cool. It really is. But this next one is actually quite interesting as well. It's been an interesting news week, but this one is a partner / collaboration between DC and the Faze Clan. Now, I never knew who the heck the Faze Clan was, and I had to look it up, but they are a Call of Duty esports team. And again, they partnered with DC for this upcoming Batman Day, and they're going to be releasing a custom Batman story called Faze. And it is essentially going to be the members of this Faze Clan are going to be brought into the comic book, into this custom story where they'll have superpowers. It looks like some of them have suits, like super suits, mech suits kind of thing, and they're going to be fighting crime or who knows with Batman kind of thing. So that is going to be releasing on September 24th. Guys, are you guys interested in this kind of stuff where they do this?
I think it's a way for them to try and target younger, like teenage audiences and stuff. I mean, they did the collaboration with Fortnite, and that was a pretty good success for them. And then now this, I'm sure this is going to come with also like another skin or something. Because I think in addition to Call of Duty, they do like Fortnite and PUBG and stuff like that too. So I think it's a cool idea. I like the collaborations. Collabs are a huge thing with teenagers right now. Like that's why McDonald's does their collab value meals and stuff like that. So
it's true. They did have like the Travis Scott one, and then they had a
BTS one.
BTS, that's what it was.
Yep.
I don't know, Matt. What are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, dude, I'm always down for like collaborations, even if it's something that's not really like necessarily my thing. Like I know like Fortnite does a lot, like Nick was just talking about with Batman and whatnot, and all those other people you just mentioned, and Star Wars and yada yada. But yeah, even if it's not something I'm generally into, like I don't want to put a cap on collabs, like it's always cool to see people cross over and industries cross over and Yeah, I think it's just good for fans. It gets like, it reaches other fans that it may not normally reach, you know, like, you know, you got like comic book fans now with like video game, like gamers or whatever. So coming together. So yeah, I'm always down for the collabs and just anything that is new and interesting. Like, yeah, for sure. Keep it rolling, man.
That's true. No, you do bring up a good point. It is a good opportunity to bring new readers in that may not have thought about picking up comics, because there are plenty of gamers out there that don't necessarily read comics out there. So that's very true. That is a good point. And I think it sounds like DC is kind of becoming the publisher to do these kind of collabs. I know Fortnite did have some Marvel collabs, but then they went over to DC, and it seems like they've kind of been staying there for a little bit.
Yeah. So Marvel, they had like a season where they brought in some of the Marvel characters, and with what was happening in game, they released like collaborations with Marvel in the comics where the characters were being pulled into this Fortnite dimension or universe in the comics for a couple of pages or something like that. I thought it was pretty cool, and it got my son to pick up a comic and start reading it. So
yeah. That's true, man. If you get the little guys like our kids, you know, in the like excited to go to the comic shop to like hunt down these comics, like we're going there, we're going through, we're hunting comics. If that gets like our kids in there, like I'm all for it, man. That's a fun bonding experience, and that's cool for them.
Heck yeah. No, you guys bring up some good points, and I'm all for bringing in more readers to keep our, you know, love of comics going. But moving on to our next news topic. This one's actually kind of cool because I've always loved this character and I want to see more and more of him. But Constantine is going to be having a new series over on HBO Max. And I can't wait. We need more Constantine. We actually need to see him in the DC universe at some point. Like, bring back Keanu Reeves once he's done with John Wick or whatever he's doing, and bring him back. I think that would be really cool. But I'll throw it over to Matt for this one, like just to start off and see what your thoughts are.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you. I love Constantine. I love, like, I did like the movies. I love the TV show. What was the name of the guy that did it? I know we were just talking about him the other day, if you remember.
Hold on.
I'll let you look that up real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
But yeah, he was like a great character, and I know like on Twitter, I'm always throwing out news. They're looking at the Venom antagonist to play Constantine on, what was it, HBO or Netflix or whatever it was. I can't remember now, but yeah, dude, I love it, man.
Oh yeah, dude. But I'm sorry, but the actor his name's Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's right, and he's awesome, dude. He slays it as Constantine, dude. Like, I would love to see that guy come back. But I know there's like things, but yeah, specifically on HBO, I think HBO would do awesome with the Constantine story. But I do know with like Netflix, they're looking to do Sandman, and I know Constantine is an early character that shows up in Sandman. So there's a lot of buzz with like Constantine right now, dude. Like really, like between like these shows that they're kind of picking up, HBO and Netflix, and what they're looking to do. I think, yeah, like it's only a matter of time before we get Constantine on the screen. And yeah, he's got a sick story. He's got a fun attitude. He's fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I didn't even think about that with the Sandman, you know, being worked on with HBO like that. That's a perfect opportunity to start bringing those in. And I know with I want to say the Sandman, because Death has crossed over into the DC universe as well.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, well, Sandman was all DC originally.
Oh, Vertigo, which is the offshoot of DC kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The only thing I fear is like if Netflix and HBO start going head to head and they start arguing over characters and people are buying, you know what I mean? Like, because we kind of got that with like Sony and Marvel or whoever, whatever it is, like you have to split up the X-Men. And so that's the only thing I'm worried about is like what characters are they going to take and which ones aren't going to be able to cross over. So that makes me a little bit nervous.
Well, I'm hoping that, and Nick, I'm sorry, I'll let you jump in for a second, but I'm hoping that Warner Brothers, since they pretty much own all of it, they will be able to just utilize the characters. But I know Warner Brothers has, you know, put some stops on certain characters for certain projects. So I know Warner Brothers likes to shoot themselves in their own foot, so hopefully they don't this time. But
yeah.
Nick, I'm sorry, what are your thoughts on this, bro?
Yeah, so I think you guys know my gripes. Like I love Constantine. Constantine's a great character. I want to see amazing stories being told with Constantine on the screen. But I like that continuity, the universe building that like the MCU has, and with DC stuff. Like, I don't like that they don't reuse or like use the same actors and characters between the TV verse, the HBO verse, the movie verse. Like, it, as good a Constantine as Keanu Reeves was, I would prefer them to use Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
Just because
Matt Ryan's good.
I thought he was amazing in Legends of Tomorrow. I thought he was great through the whole show.
yeah.
And he's just a great John Constantine. Like, that's who I want to see, and I want to see them to start like making a cohesive DC universe, not just explaining it away by saying, "Oh, this is a different Earth. This is a different
Right.
part of the multiverse."
Yeah.
And that's a good point, but I mean, I will play devil's advocate here, and being a big DC fan, and I feel that they do an amazing, a much better job at the multiverse than like what Marvel has done. But that's just my opinion. I'm sure many people there would argue that, but I love the way that DC does their multiverse, and I'm okay with them doing that between their movies and shows and stuff, and keeping it as if it's their own universe and that's their Earth.
See, and I would be
whatever.
fine with that too if they stated, "Hey, this is Earth X," like right, like they do in the CW shows. So like with Flash, like they say when they go through the portal, this is Earth X or whatever, right? That it specifically tells you, hey, Supergirl is in a different universe than Flash is.
Now, to play to that point, because that's a great example, is with the CW Flash show in Crisis on Infinite Earths. They actually did that. So they went through
absolutely.
and they utilized that, and they canonized everything they've done from like Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. That is now, it had its own universe, and it had, I can't remember the actual number that they used, but they did the same thing. They did that. They had Keaton's Batman. They had that universe, and we know that he's going to be in the Flash movie, so that's going to be a multiverse crossover, which we all know the Flash is going to be a multiverse movie.
See, and I'm hoping that that's what they continue with. Like, my problem is that with the movies that have been coming out, they have not done that. It took the CW show doing that crossover event to really bring that together, but the movies still don't acknowledge that yet.
Well, they do because we had Ezra Miller crossover with Grant Gustafson in the Flash. They have interacted. I mean, Grant Gustafson's Flash gave Ezra Miller's Flash his name.
Yeah.
He's like, Flash. Oh, wow, that's good. So that's where he gets his name from, was from that version of Barry, which was really cool. But I get what you're saying, because the movies don't start off and it's like story from Earth 27 or whatnot kind of thing. In my head, I just always figure it's like the main universe when I see a movie.
Yeah.
Unless it's something that specifically says otherwise, like in hopefully this Flash movie coming out, we will have that universe where Keaton comes back to play Batman. And I'm hoping, I'm calling it now, I'm hoping we get Batman Beyond, and Keaton's going to be the older Bruce Wayne mentor. So hopefully that pans out for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think like that's probably like a lot of what the Flash movie is going to do, is to break down that multiverse idea, kind of what Marvel's doing right now with their multiverse, and kind of like what you're looking for, Nick, or what it sounds like you're looking for is like, because I don't think like we grew up with it, we didn't know there was a multiverse. It just was different actors playing the same thing. But like now where we are today in 2021, it's like now we know there's a multiverse. So like I hope Flash will take a moment to kind of explain that, like, oh, Keaton's over here and Val Kilmer's over here and whoever, like, like they'll kind of break down the idea of the multiverse. And so it sounds like kind of what you want.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're on their way to doing something like that, but I do think that they need to take a page from the MCU's book and kind of storyboard it a little bit better. Come out with like a website or something that has like all that information or something that ties it together. Like, it doesn't take that much to do that information, like just to really create the cohesion of all of their media.
That
Yeah,
makes
like
sense.
just make it canon somewhere.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
well, and we already
Yeah.
know it's all canon because of the CW shows. But what we could
Yeah.
do
Yes.
is we could, for this DC fandom coming out next month, maybe we should jump on into some of those groups when they're doing panels and see if we can ask some questions and be like, "Hey guys, can you do this? Like, throw this together for people?" You know, kind of, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they'll
that'd
do
be
it.
cool.
Yeah, but I
That
know
would be
we're kind of. I mean, these are great topics, but we're kind of getting through some time here, and I don't want to make it too long for people. But we're on to our very last news topic, and this one I'm actually quite excited for, and it happens tomorrow. But Matrix 4 trailer is going to be dropping tomorrow, and it's been such a long time since we've had anything The Matrix, and that was a big, huge trilogy film from our childhoods growing up, and
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. And I have a question: is do you think with this trailer and this movie coming out for this new Matrix, could these books start heating up? Could these be some spec books that people should be looking
Oh,
at?
dude, they already have. Go check out eBay.
Well, and
Yeah.
yes, because they have like they have just to name two of them right off the bat. They have a one shot that was given out at the Matrix releases at the theaters, and that was later recalled because of some questionable content. You know, I don't own it. I wish I should just probably start hunting for it. But yeah, so that book is definitely going to be a big one. And then there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2003, and I did try looking for that one, and I have not seen it anywhere. So that one's going to be extremely hard to get. So,
Yeah.
you know, there's some potential to have some heat on these books. So guys, if you're out there, I would start looking. But guys, what do you think about this Matrix 4 movie coming out? Let's go with Nick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I'm totally stoked for it. I love the Matrix trilogy. I mean, it got a little bit dicey there in the middle, but overall, I think it's a great set of movies, and I'm really looking forward to the trailer drop tomorrow.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
I'm just gonna say I'm happy you guys are happy. Like I'm just gonna be honest. You know, like this might bring on some hate towards me, but I've never been a Matrix dude. I don't know. When I was a kid,
I'm kicking him.
Bye guys. All right. Look, when I was a kid, I did like the first Matrix. Like when he's, you know, leaning back and the bullets are flying over. Like as a kid, like as a younger Matt, it blew my mind. But I got older. Number 2 came out. Number 3 came. I don't even think I saw number 3, honestly, to to be genuine with the audience here. But I mean, it's whatever. I think I don't know. I can be pumped. Like I will watch the trailer. I'll probably go back. Like it was like Chris, you said it perfectly, man. Like it was just one of those trilogies of our time when we were kids. It's just one of those iconic like franchises that came out, and I think, you know, I'm older and wiser, and I love Keanu Reeves. Like, I love that dude. You can't hate Keanu. So I think I'm gonna go back. I'll rewatch it. I'll try to get my hype factor up, and then get excited for 4, and then. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's sweet.
No, and you definitely bring up some more good points, because you know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I definitely enjoyed it. I love this. I was in about high school when all this stuff came out. So
Yeah.
I was really into it. The technology was amazing. The Wachowskis did an amazing job at like changing cinema and what you could do at that time with their new camera technologies and stuff. So it was a big thing, but I can get it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, especially once like the second and third film came out, because they did, like Nick said, get a little bit off. You know, the rave scene in the underground is still one that burned into my mind. And then, you know, Neo being kind of like sacrificial Jesus at the end kind of thing. But
and it was like a lot of that, but
yeah. So, but
dude,
I mean, Neo's supposed to be back in this, and Trinity's supposed to be back in this. So we'll see how that happens.
Yeah, that first one was iconic, man. I'll give it its dues. Like it was iconic. I think for like film history, it's like one of those movies you put in there, like in the Hall of Fame, you know, for what it was.
Definitely. Well, do you guys have anything else to say on it, or should we just look to wrap this up? It wasn't too much to talk about too much on that, but No.
Ah, bro,
Yeah, no.
I'll take
I'm
that
all
as a
good.
no. Well, all right, guys, let's go ahead and we'll wrap this up. Guys, thank you all for watching this new Comic Book Day Wednesday Let's Chat. We hope you all enjoyed this list, and we hope you all enjoyed the pickups that we got. We ask you guys to please definitely let us know what you picked up today, and if you heard any news that we missed today, because there's so much going on in everyday life, it's very possible we missed some, but we'd love to chat with you about it. So go ahead and leave that comment down below. While you're there, also remember to smash that like button. It helps us out a ton with the YouTube algorithm, as well as smack that subscribe button so that you don't miss any content that we have coming out, like that 10 and 10 that Matt brings up all the time, because it's a lot of fun to do, guys, and it's our review video coming out on Fridays. So
there's some good books, bro.
There's
some good books.
Good books. So yes, don't miss it. But guys, thanks again for watching. We will catch you all this Friday. Have a good one.
Peace.
See ya.